Hello, welcome to the fourth video, and today I've got some assistance based on the one viewer that I had yesterday, which was Annie, my wife. She's decided she wants to help me out, and I'm grateful for that help. Again, this video today is not for you, it's for me. I'm just trying to get comfortable in front of a camera. And the way Annie's going to help is she's got some questions, so she's going to interview me, and I'm going to try my best to answer honestly and frankly. And there might be some cringe questions in there. There probably will be, but I'm going to try my best to answer them and get more comfortable in front of the camera. So when you're ready, Annie, could you take it away, please?
So the first question, after watching all three of your videos, is in video 1, you state you're going to upload for 100 days, and in video 3, you state you're going to upload for 50 days. Which one are you aiming for?
Oh, crikey. Did I say that? Well,
I'm sure people can check.
I forget, but I think it's still in review. It's still in flex at the moment. Let's say 100. 100's a nice round number, and hopefully by the end of 100 videos, you can see that I am comfortable and I'm good in front of a camera and behind a camera, or somebody is at least, because it might not be me that does the editing. But we'll see. Let's go for 100. There you go, confirmed. I'm going to do this for 100 videos.
Fab. So, next question. How long do you think you'd survive in a zombie apocalypse?
I'd like to think forever. I'd like to think that I could take on the zombie apocalypse and complete it, but probably the likelihood is I'd be one of the first zombies out there, because I'm not as streetwise as I'd like to think I am.
Do you think they might catch you napping after you've been up late making YouTube videos
Yeah,
and fall
probably.
asleep on the sofa?
Probably. If they'd have caught me in my office today, I think there was a bit of dozing going on, I'm sure.
Next one. If you were a dog, which breed would you want to be?
If I was a dog, I would probably want to be what they called a Belgian Marmite. You know, those really athletic German Shepherd type dogs that can leap across rivers. And
The Belgian Malinois.
Malinois, that's the one, yeah. I'd want to be that dog.
Would you really be more like a poodle?
I think actually I'd be more like a cross between a pug and a chihuahua. You know, there's that dog, isn't there, that's classed as the ugliest dog in the world, and it's got its tongue sticking out and everything. Everybody thinks it's really cute and pities it. I think it'd be more like that, to be fair.
Well, I disagree with that, but you know.
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Next one is, why do round pizzas come in square boxes?
Well, do you want the geeky answer, or do you want the fact that I don't know? I think they come in square boxes because square boxes are easy to stack in pizza bags. They're easy to stack in pizza shops. They come from folded cardboard basically, and they're easy to assemble. And you can put a round peg in a square hole if the peg is small enough. So the pizza being round, it doesn't matter that there's gaps around the corners. Mm-hmm. That's my best take on it, I'm afraid.
You don't think it's better just to make square pizzas?
I mean, why don't we make square pizzas? Why don't we make square pizzas? Oh, it's because they like to do the throwing it around thing, don't they? Stretching the dough by throwing them around, and that sort of equally disperses the pizza. But it's quite possible to make square pizzas. They just seem a little bit less authentic, don't they?
Is it because it have more crust than a round one?
No. I think it'd have. No, yes, it would. It would have more crust, wouldn't it? Yes. A round pizza would technically have the least crust for the surface area, I think. But maybe, I don't know, maybe you like crust on pizzas, so maybe square pizzas would be better for you.
Okay, next one. What are 3 items you might purchase at the supermarket in order to get strange looks from the cashier?
3 items. Tampons, definitely, or any type of sanitary products. That's happened before, to be fair. But usually when I go to the co-op and I buy a bottle of wine and a stick of chorizo and you know, a chocolate bar, I usually turn up and say, well, that's tea sorted for me, and they don't look at me confused. But they do look at me with a certain amount of pity on their faces when I say that.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Focus. I really wish I could focus on one thing at one time to the exclusion of all else, but I get distracted very easily. I think the superpower that I'd really like to have is focus and do a task from start to end.
Okay. And if you was to be banned from your local library, what would be the reason?
I think I am technically banned from my local library. Last time I went in there, I found the children's section and basically took a photograph for you, Annie, actually, in front of the children's section, and me sitting down in the very small chairs, basically, learning to read a picture book. Now, I thought that was hilarious. But apparently librarians don't have a sense of humour, and they told me that the library was due to close, and could I wrap up please? I'm not sure libraries close at 3 o'clock, but that seemed to be the case.
They did on that day. If you could remove one colour in the whole world, what would it be and why?
Oh, snot green.
Why?
It's snot green, isn't it? I don't know. It's just, it's a pretty offensive colour. I don't like it.
Then how would you describe snot green going forward?
I just wouldn't mention it again going forward. Perfect. Yeah, it's not green. Okay. If I ruled the world, it's not green, it'd be illegal.
Okay. Do people drink or eat soup?
Both. I mean, what's the difference between drinking and eating, really? Chewing? Well, you don't chew soup, do you? So I'd say, you drink soup. But you do get nutrients, don't you? But you get nutrients from beer, so you don't eat beer either. So I would say, working through that logically, I think people drink soup.
Which species would be the rudest if all animals could talk?
Cats. Cats are pretty rude, aren't they? I mean, we've got a cat that just exists out of spite. It just glares at me, and if it could speak, it would probably call me nasty names all the time. Just randomly, like a cat with Tourette's would.
Okay. Where would you like to time travel? Back to the past or to the future?
Future. Oh, crikey, yeah. Like Back to the Future, basically, you know. I thought in this day and age, in 2025, we'd all be sort of wearing jetpacks, wearing silver spacesuits, and the office would be paperless. I think I was wrong on all three counts.
What colour would you like if you had to eat a crayon straight from the box?
It's not green. I mean, at least it's not green and have gone.
Okay. If you could put one condiment inside your belly button, what would it be and why?
Vinegar.
And
obviously.
Why? And why?
Why? Because I think vinegar is probably quite good for skin as well, and it probably is a good cleaning agent. So if I'm going to put it in my belly button, at least I'm looking to get a clean belly button at the end of this.
Okay. Do you know how to fold a fitted sheet? Do you know what a fitted sheet is, first of all?
Yeah, fitted sheet. Oh, crikey. So a fitted sheet is that stupid thing with elastic on the corners, basically. So when you put a sheet on a bed, basically it clings to the mattress. Now I'm a big fan of normal sheets because I like to put hospital corners when I'm making a bed. And I know Annie's now glaring at me because she knows that I've not made a bed in a long time. But my background is army, and I was told or taught to make my bed using hospital corners.
Maybe we can get you to do that one day, and then
Well, buy normal sheets instead of fitted sheets, and maybe I will.
Okay. Who would you appoint as the president of the internet, and why?
I don't know. I don't think the internet needs a president. I know there are certain people that think that they ought to be the president of the internet. Musk. But I think the whole point of the internet is there is no president. I think we could all do with a bit more respectability in the world, but beyond that, I think it should be a place where people with divergent opinions should be able to get together and discuss.
Okay, so still got quite a few questions to get through, so we might need to do some more quick fire answers going forward.
Oh, but I like long answers.
So the next one, how many ants would it take to lift an elephant?
How many ants would it take to lift an elephant? You've got to think about the lifting power of an ant. And I think that an ant can lift about 10 times its own weight. Let's assume that an ant weighs a gram, so that's 10 grams per ant. They can work in unison with each other as teams. So in order to do a kilogram, you're looking at 100 ants. In order to do a ton, I think you are looking, you'll be looking at times 1,000, that'd be 100,000 ants. And it's about 2 tons for an elephant, I'd say. So you're looking at 200,000 ants. Sorry, I couldn't be any quicker than that, but I've got to work through it in my own head.
Okay, next question. How would you show that you were from the future if you were transported 200 years into the past with no clothing or anything else?
How would I show from the future? Well, no clothing, okay. I have no idea. Annie.
Maybe the fact that you're still alive at 47 would be a good start.
Well, that could be a good start, although, there are people that live to into the 70s, even 200 years ago.
Anyway, next question. Who would help who if we were to help each other cheat on a test?
Oh, you'd help me, definitely.
Next one. What kind of food would you never offer a tiger?
Prawns, especially tiger prawns. Are they made from tiger or are they made from prawns? Who knows?
Nobody knows. What's your least favourite planet?
Well, Pluto's like the ginger stepchild of planets these days, isn't it? I still consider it a planet, but apparently it's been banned from all gatherings these days. So I suppose Pluto.
Okay. What colour would you pick if I let you dye my hair any colour?
Oh, we've already picked this out, haven't we? Yeah, I quite like that blue.
Next one. Which app on your phone do you use the most?
Outlook.
What would you do if you could become invisible for a day?
I'd love to be invisible for a day. I wouldn't get bothered. I'm actually quite the introvert, so I'd probably just chill.
Okay. What do you think would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time?
Thrush cream.
Okay. If you were a laptop brand, which one would you be and why?
I'd be a Surface. And the reason for that is I like rules and standards, and it's as close to the hardware and the software as you could get. I wouldn't be a Mac. I've recently gone from a Windows operating system to a Mac operating system, and I just can't get my head around it. I'm going back to a Windows computer at the earliest opportunity. But if I did, it'd be a Surface.
Okay. What's the best brand of alcohol you always look for?
I quite like a single malt whiskey. I know that's not a brand, but it's kind of a brand. Scotch whisky has got its own industry brand. So I'd say, you can't really go wrong with a good single malt from Scotland. Sorry, Ireland.
If you could have dinner with any 5 people from history, who would they be?
Oh, crikey. From history, so they've all got to be dead, I suppose. Socrates would be good. He's known as being annoying, but he's a good start. Joseph Stalin, I'd probably ask a lot of questions around why, just why. Hobbes, I think he was a philosopher come economist. I think he'd be okay. And then we've probably got to throw a few people in there that would lighten up the party a bit. I think getting Cleopatra in there and Mark Antony, that would be good. And everybody else would have to pretend that they didn't know that they were an item.
Okay. Next one. If you could become any mythical creature for a day, what would it be and why?
Dragon. 'Cause flying, 'cause fire. Why not?
Okay. 2 questions left. So, if you were required to evacuate and only had time to grab 10 items, what would you take with you?
Laptop, dog, cat, wife, children.
Kind of featured in there, but probably not where I wanted
I'm
to
not
be.
in that order, but you know.
Okay, and then your very last question. What would your stage name be if you were famous?
Rupert Tarquin Farquhar Pecker. Sounds upper middle class, doesn't it?
If you say so. Anyway, that was Tim's 30 questions that he's not seen.
There you go. That was 30 questions and genuinely not seen them at all.
I think it was quite obvious with the confusion on your face from some of them. So.
Probably, yeah. And again, if you've watched this to the end, well done. And I'm sorry. But again, these videos right now, they're not for you, they're for me. Well, actually, they are for you ultimately, because when I actually work out what my niche is going to be, I do want it to be a reasonable channel going forward. All right? For now, thank you very much.